911. Stool softener? Blood test.
Cancer, whatever.
Suzanne, quick, go to medical school. I'm sick.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tell 'em Steve Dave.
You're going to be able to spit it out?
But I'm at home, eh?
Yeah, you sound like you're already
I know.
Oh.
I'm going by codename Briaria Johnson this week. Fell victim to a stomach virus every fucking
Dude, you
weekend.
are a fucking walking, what's it called, malady? What's it
Malady?
called? Malady, yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm a fucking wreck. It's like every
You
weekend
should just
it's something new.
check yourself in, at least like to be, like to clinics where they do tests as test subjects.
Uh-huh.
And like wannabe doctors get to like.
I'm like Mr. Burns. I have every fucking disease that are holding each other perfectly in check.
We got here as a medical oddity.
The man who has everything, who has nothing, but he has everything.
Yeah, if you can believe it. Rich in disease, poor in everything else.
No man is poor who is rich in disease.
Yeah. So now I sit here with my pants unbuckled to relieve the pressure on
How'd you
the 1
get-
week I don't wear sweatpants.
What you got now? You got a stomach flu?
Some kind of stomach virus. Yeah. Sage had it and I took care of her on Saturday. And then Suzanne picked it up and then late Saturday night I started feeling weird and then Sunday, full blown. Yesterday, not feeling so great, but today I woke up feeling okay. But then I, came in, I got this thin veneer of sweat and bowels acting up. It might be my new way of eating because I don't eat anything normal anymore. I eat all like yogurt and cereals and salad.
Or is it, you make sure?
I make sure the yogurt's spoiled.
Is it refrigerated yogurt?
Yeah, no. I keep it on my backpack for a couple days. I'm like, active culture. Well, I better kill them.
Oh, wait a minute. So you have to eat yogurt now?
I don't have to. I like yogurt, though.
Mm.
It's just light. I ate a roast beef sandwich. I threw up.
I thought you're supposed to eat bland shit. Like, why don't you just have
What's blander than yogurt?
have like some toast,
Had some toast.
tea?
I can't drink too much tea, though, because all the caffeine and the acids from the tea.
I meant like hot tea.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what to do, man. I gotta get it. I can't even get a diet designed by you because you eat pizza and chicken fingers.
Baked chicken.
Yeah?
You can eat baked chicken, can't you? It's bland.
You bake me some chicken? Who bakes it for you?
You can go to across the market. They
Debbie?
got baked chicken.
Let me come over. Just bake me some chicken, motherfucker.
Maybe whoever donated blood to you is a fucking...
Yeah, maybe it's a hot-blooded Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to shout out to, I start talking in a Staten Island accent and fucking my abs get real tight and shit. Madison, Wisconsin and, Great Falls, North Dakota. Is that in North Dakota? Those are the two cities I gotta give shout outs to for my blood.
Oh, that's where it came
That's
from?
where the blood came from, yeah. 2 bags from each.
Probably not Italian then.
Nah. Probably white. Lily white.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention in that story too that like
Didn't you ask for white blood?
day 2. Yeah. Yeah. They had to strap me down.
You think they've ever gotten that request?
Well, I did joke around with it because the doctor who initially said that I had to get it, I said, whatever you do, just don't give me any Italian blood because she had an Italian last name. And she's like, yeah, you can go now if you want. Joking around and shit. But I'm sure. I mean, if I'm a fucking hardcore like Nazi guy and like I got into a fight and somebody sliced me up.
If you need blood, you're probably not even able to talk. Probably, if you're in need of bags of blood, you're probably not in a position to be like,
well, it
no
depends,
black
man.
blood.
What if you're like me, walking around?
That's right,
Iron Man Johnson.
That's right. I forgot. Mama's fucking pride and joy.
I'm walking around.
Walking around.
That's how they'd start to set me up. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is white, pure fucking Aryan blood, right?
Which is weird because you have black descent, as we've learned.
That's true. I shouldn't have waited so long. They said I almost died. I couldn't give a fuck at that point whose blood. It could have been fucking dog blood if it worked. I would have been like, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Can they give, I guess animal blood doesn't work, right? Can they give other animal blood to another animal?
Like cat blood to a dog?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Can't they put a pig's heart or a monkey's heart in now in another animal or something? Or a
Baboon
man?
heart. I heard a pig heart too.
Yeah, so why can't they use the blood too then?
Maybe they can, and I just don't know what the fuck I'm...
Anyway, when I originally went into the hospital, the second day I was in there, Suzanne and Pam brought the kids over, and there's like this little family room. When I say little, I mean the operative word is little. It was so fucking small where like you couldn't really do anything. They were supposed to be there like an hour before, and I said, hey, it took you guys a while to get here. And she's like, It's because we had to make a stop. Calvin's dead.
Oh, the
That
cat.
was like my cat of nearly 19 years that Grace Smith, Kev's mom, gave me back in the early 90s. His eye would like water encrust up so much he couldn't see and shit. And Suzanne was constantly giving him fluids, and he'd be like, "Rah," and then she would rub his back till he went back to sleep.
Are we talking about a cat or you at this point? I forgot. It was
No, I took back seat. I'm downstairs. I'm like, I need help. Shut up. You have enough stored fat to live off of. You don't love me. Shut up. But the weirdest thing about that was, aside from the very abrupt, like, whoa, wait, what? Walt called that morning, I guess, when they were coming over. And she said, what did she say to you? Like, if you happen to see him.
No, I called to see how you were doing. I didn't know if you were still in the hospital. And your mom said, oh, no, he's still in the hospital. We're actually going over there. You can give him a call. He's got his cell phone. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, I'll give him a call later, I said. And she goes, oh, but don't tell him his cat died, though.
Something he was completely unaware of up to that point.
It's something I would have never been. I never would have been the one to be like,
how's this cat doing anyway? Like before you get off the phone. Is this cat dead yet?
She was like, yeah. She got real serious and was like, don't tell him. Dear God, please don't tell him that this cat died. He doesn't need that right now. Then you said,
stop being a real jerk, Walt.
She boarded it out like within 2 seconds of being.
Yeah, I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, but I was so fucking out of it at that point. You know, that was.
You were out of it?
The day after. Yeah, it was the day after, like, I was still in the hospital, obviously. So it was the day after I got that blood and shit. And, like, I was on medications and crap. So I was like, wait, what? You know? My recent bout with blood loss.
Blood loss they've heard before.
Yeah, I know. It's nothing new. It's almost exactly the same, except I don't know why they did it, but they released me with a blood level that wasn't quite stable. Which means
probably looked at your insurance. It was like, yeah, we can let him go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll give him 2 quarts and then fuck him. No, that was one of those things where, like, I knew like a day or two before what was about to happen, and that was me going to the fucking hospital and finding out that shit was bleeding again. And I have to fucking get blood and hope that I could get out in 1 day and then find out it's going to be 3 days. It was pretty much the exact same thing, except Walt never came to visit me. So anyway, I'm going to get an operation pretty soon,
Right.
which won't be too bad. Hiatal hernia removed.
Boom.
Stomach fixed.
Boom.
But I was in there, and my doctor, quote unquote doctor, comes in. I got an MRI on Saturday, and he says, comes through the door. First thing he says, brother, you need 2 new knees. He goes, and I'm like, huh? What?
Really?
I'm like, that's what he says. Now, meanwhile, I got an MRI on 1 knee. So how he's accounting for the second knee, I don't know if he's just assuming or what. And I was like,
doctors usually don't just assume, don't they? Don't they need hard, credible proof?
Generally,
what the problems are.
Yeah, I think there's a thing called malpractice that comes into play. So
I go to Nate's Discount Doctor and Auto Bodies. So I was like, really? But I only got an MRI on 1 knee, I said. And he goes, yeah, they're looking bad. Like, almost like I didn't even say it. As he's talking to me, there's a nurse there. And he sees all the medicine I got from when I was out in California. You know, the pill bottles. And he's like, well, I know I didn't prescribe these. So I said to him, hey, I went out west because you told me, you know, about this, I was going to need to get off it. So I'm off it. And he's like, you're off it? I'm shocked. And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, good. You're going to need to be on something with this knee operation coming up. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like back for 4 days from the place. And you're already trying to
push you off the new drug.
Yeah. And I said, well, you know what? I don't really want to think about that right now. Maybe I'll fight through it, whatever. Maybe a half hour later, another orthopedist comes in, tall, fucking strapping Indian lad. Hello, sir. He goes, he says, hey, Brian, took a look at your MRI. He goes, very common injury, torn meniscus. He goes, no incisions. What we're going to do is we go in there with whatever the fuck these tools they use. we sand down that edge, make it smooth, get a little bit of the debris out there. He goes, day or two, you'll be feeling 100% better.
Great.
I chose to believe him.
Well, I mean, he's not running there like the roof's on fire,
Right. So
your doctor, I don't know if this has been told to you yet by anybody, but it sounds like your Jersey doctor is just a...
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, he's just
Hi,
like an
Dr.
asshole.
Nick.
He just sounds like an asshole.
Suzanne really wants me to go after him.
Sue him?
Sue him? But at least report him. Yeah. At least report him. But to me, I'm like, he's been a family doctor forever. He's a family friend. I know in his mind he thought he was doing me a favor.
Right.
However, I did find this out, and this was fucked up. Pam the other day very casually tells me that, because she was the same doctor, that at one point
He's your father? He's your real father?
Yeah, he's like, I fucked your mom and you're grounded. It's like, come on, Dad, what about my knee replacements? I don't even question it for a second. I just start reporting to him immediately. No, I'm never going to get those knee replacements. The fuck took shit off Edgar for 40 years. I'm going to go kick his ass. No, she goes, yeah, I mean, I had a talk with him a while ago and he said, well, he's going to get addicted to this stuff, but we'll just deal with that down the road. And I'm like,
Doctor said that?
The doctor said that, and Pam did not tell me that. Now look, there's no part of me that's like, oh my God, that's why. Because obviously I knew.
Right.
But I'm like, what kind of fucked up fucking pair of jokers are you two?
Yeah.
That neither one of you would mention that to me? Like, it's derelict, man. It's derelict in duty. And, but I figure if he's that fucked up with me, he's got to be that fucked up with everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody else will report. Somebody else will say something. I'm just,
He's been a doctor.
That's not the right attitude to take.
I know, but it's weird. I have it, even though I shouldn't, I have a loyalty because I know in his mind he was doing what he could for me. Even though when I went out there, I went to a doctor and, the knee pain was part of what started the whole drug thing. And I said to him, is there anything I can do while I'm here? Because, I don't have the painkillers, obviously. And he goes, well, I'm sure you've had a steroid shot. And I said, no. And he goes, you haven't had a steroid shot? Well, why? I said, I don't know. And he said, that's one of the first things you should do. And I said, well, is it prohibitively expensive? And he said, no. I said, then I have no answer for you. And that was that, So he gave me a steroid shot and it was not like, oh my God, it's a miracle, but it did feel a lot better. It felt a lot better. But the other thing he did was put me on something called Celebrex. And again, and I thought he was a pretty good doctor and he was very on top of everything. He put me on this shit called Celebrex, which I found out later on is like taking the equivalent of 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day, which I told him I can't take ibuprofen because I have these stomach problems. So I'm thinking that may have been what set this whole recent blood thing into motion.
Right. You're like Mr. Glass.
Oh, Jesus, dude. I said to Walt, I called him the other day, I was like, I am a wise old owl on a fucking tree limb, but not the fucking kind that dispenses sage advice. And Walt's like, yeah, it's the kind that's like a hangdog, almost falling off the branch due to fucking low blood count, fucking brittle motherfucker. Why me? Why is the weight of the world on my shoulders? Who cares? Fucking Jesus, man.
Like what you do to make your stool soften?
This is not a buffering type situation.
Can't you get
Yeah.
a knee, shin, foot, hip replacement on the whole left side?
People would fucking want to be me. For once.